Can AI change how we talk about politics? Introducing Maine Matters. Welcome back to The Maine Perspective. I'm Drew Hoagland, and today is a very special episode where I introduce an experimental expansion to The Maine Perspective, where the Maine Matters segment is now going to be introduced. And what's special about it is it's entirely AI generated. And not that I don't have a mind in the prompt and in the prompting process entirely throughout all of it. What it means is the voices and the cadences and the tones and so much of what I don't control is AI, but I give it the prompt that it's based upon. And I know some of you are going to get a little shaky here, being like, no, AI, scary, back away, don't do it. And for people that have known me in my past, they're going to find this very ironic because I was always very anti Alexa, Siri, and all of those home smart devices because they're listening. And I put that in quotation marks, but they actually are listening. I just realized that at some point in 2018, 2019, definitely by 2020, that we had gone too far. There was no going back. So I had to either live in the past and try and isolate myself, even though it is not possible, and go insane doing it, or I had to embrace the fact that this is our new future and then grapple with what I do from there. So now, rather than trying to run from the cameras because I'm filming with my phone. I have 2 cameras on my phone. I have a camera on my laptop. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. There's audio everywhere. It's just inevitable. I'm saying all that because AI at this point is inevitable. When you use Google, when you use Siri, when you ask Alexa questions, when you use certain prompts on programs at work, when you utilize smart features for grocery shopping, like it's AI. So I'm saying all that because instead of running from it, we should start to understand it. And I could sit here and lecture to you about AI. Rather, I would introduce Maine Matters, which is Solcy and Gunner, 2 AI generated people. Gunner comes from Aroostook County. He's much more Republican, conservative leaning. Solcy comes from the coast, highly educated, far more liberal leaning and Democrat leaning. But then I try to introduce them and they're on a radio podcast, a news station, and they'll refer to me as the source sometimes or Drew. If they're talking about the source, that's what they mean. They mean me because I prompted them. And because they're AI, they have to stay civil. It's not going to get uptight. It's not going to get all heated and emotional. And that's where I think this has something special. Before I go on too long, go ahead and leave your thoughts before we get into it. Leave your comments down below. Do you think this is a heinous idea, or do you see what I'm trying to do here? Are you skeptical? Go ahead, leave some comments down below. And before any more, let's go ahead and dig in.
Welcome to the deep dive. We try to cut through the noise, get right to the heart of things. Today, we're looking at something really innovative, I think. It's called Maine Matters. And it's tackling local issues in, well, a pretty unique way. The mission seems clear enough: clarity, respectful debate for Mainers.
Right, but here's the twist, and it's a big one. The hosts, Gunnar and Solcy, they're not people. They're advanced AI constructs.
Wait, AI? Really? So artificial intelligence hosts?
Exactly, created by Drew Hoagland for this whole project. It's definitely pushing boundaries on how we might engage with news, with analysis.
Oh, well, okay, so not human broadcasters. These are sophisticated programs.
Yeah.
How are they designed? I mean, are they just reporting the news, or is there something deeper going on?
Oh, much deeper. They're specifically engineered to analyze really complex information, understand different viewpoints, and then, facilitate conversations that sound like actual reasoned discussions, like you'd hope to have yourself. It's all part of this bigger thing, the Maine perspective that Hoagland's doing, trying to make it more immersive, more engaging. for the audience.
Okay. Let's try and unpack these AI hosts then. First up is Gunnar. He's described as the man of the land from Aroostook County, right? Up north?
Yeah, way up north.
Where life is, really tied to the land, the seasons, values, like your word is your bond, helping neighbors, that kind of thing. But how does an AI capture that regional feel without it sounding, I don't know, fake?
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? A Gunnar's persona, it's designed to represent that identity. It's synthesized. He's presented as a husband, father of 3. His view for Maine is about freedom, hard work, trusting citizens.
Okay.
He believes in common sense, self-reliance. Less government is better government. It's about modeling that viewpoint based on data about values and regional perspectives, not actually living it, of course.
All right, modeling it. Got it. And then there's Solsi, his counterpart. She's the woman of the law, shaped by the southern Maine coast, the ocean. So a different vibe entirely.
A very different vibe, yeah. And what's interesting with Solsi is how her supposed background feeds into her AI's processing. She's given these credentials a law degree from UMaine, a master's in public policy from Muskie.
Okay, so academic, policy-driven.
Exactly. That drives her approach.
Yep.
Logic, data, the rule of law for solving complex problems. She's aiming to make sure progress works for everyone. Kittery to Fort Kent. She's the data-driven counterpoint to Gunnar.
So you have this deliberate contrast, man of the land, woman of the law. And this is the core idea, right? They're not designed to just agree all the time.
No, definitely not.
The whole point is modeling respectful disagreement, finding common ground. That's built in.
That's absolutely the intention. That real solutions, they come from rigorous debate, grounded in fact, forged between these distinct AI perspectives, and maybe, just maybe, because they are AI, they might be less prone to the emotional biases, the ego that can sometimes derail human debates, letting facts and logic lead.
Interesting thought. And you mentioned they have a dynamic. Gunnar apparently has a sense of humor.
Yeah, they try to inject a bit of that. He told a joke once, something like, "Why did the lobster get kicked out of the State House?" Solsi sort of played along, the reluctant straight woman, so to speak.
Yeah. And much like.
Because he kept pinching the budget. Just a light touch to keep things moving, even with serious topics.
Right. Keeps it engaging. So ultimately, despite these design differences, Gunnar and Solsi, they do share a commitment.
Yes, a commitment to tackling the hard stuff. The economy, rights, the state's future, all those big issues.
And doing it with integrity, intelligence, focusing on Maine people.
That's the stated goal. Integrity, intelligence, focus on Maine. It's a really fascinating experiment in digital civic engagement. Shows how tech could potentially lift public discourse.
So here's something to leave you with. What possibilities really open up for how we talk about important state matters? Yeah. When the conversation is led by AI constructs, specifically designed for clarity and, maybe most importantly, respectful debate, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
To be honest, y'all, that surprised even me. So here I was on my chat model, and I'm just trying to create some kind of dialogue between opposing viewpoints so I can get both sides from a non-emotional and more nuanced point of view. Cat hair. And then I clicked up in the corner and there was an option for an audio overview. And you might be noticing I have been spending more time out in the sun. So because of that, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'd rather listen to this than sit here on my phone and read it, and I can just enjoy the sun while listening. So I did that, and it ran through its prompting process. Didn't take a hell of a lot of time, honestly. And then when I clicked play, I was expecting to hear an audio overview of the document that it had just produced. But instead, it came up with these two voices, which I later named Solsi and Gunnar. And I was shocked. And then I was like, you know what? This is something. This wasn't even the first one that I created. The first one I tried to have opposing viewpoints on was the red flag law, the video I already came out with. But it did such a good job of introducing these two people and the opposing viewpoints in a non-emotional, nuanced way that I was like, I need more of that. So then I tried another one, and it's about the 450 laws that are being passed in the state of Maine this year, a video that's coming up. So before I did that, they're not introduced in the red flag law. That video is already too long. But I wanted to introduce Sulci and Gunner first, and then I can use that Maine Matters segment in future videos to kind of bounce ideas, thoughts, and whatnot back and forth. And to give you, as a viewer, the perspective of what AI is capable of. And some of it's dangerous, some of it's very handy. It's kind of like guns. It's kind of like a lot of heavy machinery. It's about the hands, the tool. It's about the hands the tool is in. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's about the hands the tool is in, not about the tool so much itself. So this video is already getting on. I'm not feeling well. Today's a Sunday. Theoretically, it's a day off, but my brain knows no chill, and I saw all of this coming up, and I need to get to the videos about the main bills that have just been enacted. And before I did that, I needed to introduce this segment. Hopefully I feel better in the next couple days so I can not sound so hoarse while I talk to the camera. But thank you all for sticking in, and let me know down below at this point, comment and leave your thoughts about, is AI in media a good thing, a bad thing? Should we try and come up with a coexistence with AI, or do you guys think we need to nip it in the bud altogether? Or are you at the point where AI is already here and there's no helping it and we're already too far gone? I look forward to reading your comments down below. Until next time, y'all, this has been Drew Hoagland with Maine Perspective.
Ready? Fight!